Hi guys, this is Gobinath, working as assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in KSR Institute for Engineering and Technology. Today we are going to see about the topic of multimedia applications. Applications of multimedia. In that applications of multimedia, we are going to see the topic of multimedia big data computing. So, what is multimedia, big data computing, and what are all the components that are available in the big data computing? Let us discuss these components one by one. The first one is data acquisition. There are various components are there. Let us discuss these components. The first component is data acquisitions. So we know that acquisition means the process of collecting the data from the real world, typically by using the sensors or by using various physical activities, the physical social media platforms or the surveillance cameras and the networks and maybe in the internet sectors. So that is called as data acquisitions. Here the data is be collected in various platforms or various sources, that may be in the social media platform or even from Facebook or in the Instagram or with the X platform, that means the Twitter platform, or with the surveillance cameras we can able to collect the data, or through with the networks we can able to connect the data, collect the data. And second one is data storage. Once we collected that particular data, we can able to store the data. Here the data is not in very small size, we need to handle the huge volume of data. So once we need to handle the huge volume of data, then the obvious option is that Hadoop distributed file system, that is called as HDFS file system. That HDFS file system is mainly used to handle the huge volume of data. Uh, so in order to handle the huge volume of data, we will use this HDFS concept, or we can able to use the cloud storage as well. And we once the data is collected and when the data is stored, then what we want to do, we want to do the pre-processing of data. So pre-processing, as we know that it is necessary to remove the unwanted data. We want to remove the unwanted data, that is called as pre-processing. And also before we are done going with the analysis of data, we need to do the pre-processing, which we already know that the raw data often needs pre-processing, that needs to be clean the data, need to filter the data and transformed into the data that must be suitable for the analysis. So what are all the content we need to remove, or what are all the tasks we need to perform in the data pre-processing? In the sense, it needs to be reduction of noise, the background reductions, unwanted noise, and the compressions of that particular data, and the future extraction, what data we are needed, that data must be included, other unnecessary data wants to be removed, and we can do the normalization process as well. Once the data has been pre-processed, then we want to move the analysis process. The analysis, at the same time we need to processing with the data. For that purpose we are using the various techniques in order to analyze the data. We can able to use the machine learning algorithms or deep learning algorithms in order to analyze the process and in order to processing the data. So we can use the computer vision algorithm as well for image and video process. For in order to audio processing technique, we will use for sounding the data, and we can also use the NLP technique, that is natural language processing, in order to work with the textual data as well. And machine learning and AI, as we know that once the data has been pre-processed and analyzed, we can able to use the various machine learning algorithm and artificial intelligence techniques as well, that used to extract the insight. Extract in the sense, we can able to extract the data in which the extract the data in which we are gathered. So in order to extract that data or insights and patterns and trends from that particular multimedia data. So what are all the tasks we are going to? We can able to classify the data. We can able to grouping the data, that is called clustering of data. We can able to detect the object, that is called object detection. We can do some sentimental analysis as well using NLP technique. We can use the sentiment analysis, that is text analysis as well, and then recommendation systems as well, and the visualization and presentations, that the analyzed results. Once the algorithm has been done with the ML model and AI techniques, then that result must be showed in the form of charts, or must be in the graphs, or must be in the map, or through the dashboards, whatever the platforms were available, that must be showed in as a presentations to the understandable, in the easily understandable and decision makers. Mm, and from that we can able to conclude some decisions. That is called this big data computing is all about. And the data management and security, once the data has been delivered, we have to given the sensitivity, that data has to be this scalability. In order to have some additional content, we can able to add that content, that is called scalability, that must be ensured in this process. So scalability obviously increase the performance of the data. And social networks here, one small, in addition to that content, one small content, social network, we can have profile, that is profile of ours. We can able to add our profiles in the social media, like names, using our names, age, location, and our interests, etc. And connections, we can able to connect with the other users by showing our interests, or using some of the platforms by mutual interests who are all satisfied with our performance or with our interest, we can able to connect with that user. And the groups and communities, we can able to share our groups, the communities who are all the same interest of ours. So that must be hobbies or interests or geographic locations. User can join these groups to connect with the minded individuals or participate in that discussion as well. Messaging, social networks often including messaging through your friends, or with communicate with the privately in order to share your knowledge, or in order to develop your friendship, whatever may be. And discovery and recommendations, social networks also use some algorithms to suggest the content to the connections to the users based on your interests and your activity you are doing in the social media platforms, and also with the networks. And privacy, last one, the privacy and security. This privacy and security plays a very, very important roles in the platforms in the, of the social media. So, because we are sharing our personal information, interact with the others in the online. So, thank you.